Hello and welcome! This is Mouse Gunner, and we're back with some more RimWorld. We're returning to a no-hope playthrough, and it's been a few days since I played, but from what I remember, we rescued this person here from an escape pod, and they're healed up enough that I think they're leaving the compound. And I think outside of that, we're just trying to build up our compound. We have a few things that I would like to do. For instance, I'd like to get a research table. But I was looking through the research just to get an idea of where we are, and it does look like gun turrets are already unlocked with this start. So we could start with defenses right now. Now, I would prefer to have walls, but I think some gun turrets might help us a little bit with some of these attacks that we're getting at this stage. Probably two good points to put the gun turrets. One over here where we have this opening, and then probably another one over here somewhere to protect our crops over here would be a good idea. And not only that, we have the power infrastructure already over here, so it wouldn't be that hard to utilize that. As a matter of fact, we could use some of this rubble as kind of cover for the gun turret as well. Well, it's at least an idea, and I think we have the resources for it. We definitely have the components for it. Steel, maybe not so much. Let's take a look at security here. So improvised turret was what we would want. And I could stick it right here and it would cover a pretty wide area, and then probably another one over here would cover the rest, and then we could stick one somewhere over here and that would cover this area. More than likely I'll wall off this area eventually and put like a door or two over here so that we can get through, but we want to funnel the bad guys into this area and then the two other more open areas. But I think for now this is a good place to put a turret. I may end up clearing some of this rubble so that the bad guys don't have cover, because we don't want them to be getting over here and getting cover. So we might do that. But if I set this up right here, we already have the power infrastructure set up. I may have to build another bit of power, like a solar panel or something, over here to gain power, and that might be a good way to get power infrastructure over to this side so that we can put another turret out. Now, I don't think we're going to have enough steel to make too much of this stuff, but right here I think it's a good place to put a solar panel, and I think we need the power. Outside of that, probably setting up some more growing areas would be a good idea. We kind of have food covered at a very baseline level. I think it'd probably be a good idea to also put in a zone for maybe trees, as we do have the proper soil here. As a matter of fact, let me take a look at this. Yeah, so we have soil fertility of 100% all along here. So this is a really good place to grow. We have less fertile ground over here, but I think maybe a tree orchard or what have you in here would be a good idea, just so we have some supply of wood. So I'll draw that right about like here. I have a feeling it's going to take quite a while, so I'll lengthen it a little bit, there we go, to grow this. Some other needs that we would have as far as growing things, I would like to have some other supply of medicine. We currently only have the medicine that we started with, which is slowly going down. We haven't used too much so far, but you can't really count on that. Alright, so coming through here, what kind of trees do we want? So we could also do cotton plants, but we have a lot of cloth right now. I don't know if that's really that high of a priority. Heal root I've already mentioned, but we need a minimum skill of 8, which I don't think we have with anyone yet. I'd have to check that. Hot plant I'm not really worried about. Some of these other things I'm not really worried about. So of the trees, I actually don't recall which of these trees is really ideal, so I'm just going to look through here real quickly. So, okay, beauty 5, cover effectiveness 43, so on and so forth. Fertility requirements not very high. The main thing we're worried about, though, is growing time. It's 30 days. That's quite long, so we want to try and get maybe trees that don't take too long to grow. So here, let's see, growing time 15 days, so that's half. Now, oak might be better from a wood standpoint. I didn't really take a look at that. All right, we have 20 days for pine. And it looks like the fertility requirement is about the same at 30% for all the different trees. Pine. Let's see what a birch tree is like. So birch is 20 days as well. And then finally we have a teak tree. Okay, and this is 30. This is one of the longest. Now, I don't know if different climates will affect things. I don't see anything about temperature climate. I mean, I'd be a little bit concerned if we pick the wrong thing and it ends up dying on us. All right, so this one's 14 days. It yields little usable wood. So I think... All right, so the problem is with the poplar and this tree here is that it grows very fast, but doesn't give us much wood. Northern tree known for its thin paper-like bark. So this one... I'm just looking through here. I'm trying to see. I don't think it actually tells you how much wood you get from something, so we can't really evaluate things that way. Well, I think I'm going to go with maybe the birch trees because they're 20 days. And we'll go from there. Climate-wise, I don't know if this is ideal, but I think that's what we're going to do. So let's go ahead and go forward here. Work-wise, I don't know. We don't have growing set on that high of a priority, but that's okay. All right, we're already working on the one turret. And this guy is slowly trudging. If he collapses, we'll rescue him again. But in theory, he shouldn't be losing any more health. I mean, after seeing that he has this frail trait, I don't know if I'd want to recruit him anyway. Oh, there we go. There we go with the growing. Apparently it takes a very long time to grow trees, much longer than potatoes. I don't know if I ever recall ever growing trees in previous playthroughs, so this is something I'm not as experienced with. And over here, we do have mining selected. Ooh, actually it doesn't need to be selected. Alright, so we might be... Well, I'm hoping that this passes through, because honestly, that would be more convenient. The good thing about the trees is it's kind of a plan it and forget it thing. Alright, we have our turret up. Power supplies look okay. But right now we have our solar panel and our wind turbine going almost full tilt. So it's hard to say. Oh, actually we have both of our power. As a matter of fact, it's time to start routing the power over there. It might be a good idea at some point to actually do redundant lines too, because if this line gets knocked out, then we lose power from the turbine and the solar panel. Granted, that's not too much of a space in between the solar panel and the wind turbine, so I don't know how concerned I am really, but okay. So what are our other colonists up to? Where are you? Okay, you're over there. Oh, you're back to stone cutting. While I'm at it, let's haul all these things, because I already mentioned I don't want the bad guys to have anywhere that they can hide. That might be okay, this rubble here, but this close stuff, I don't really want them being able to utilize to defend themselves with. We want some coverage so that we can set up our own firing lines if we want. In any case, by doing this, we give old Ben a closer supply of stone. And where Where are we on stone? We have 30 sandstone blocks. I think eventually I might try and make this more uniform over here. I know it's very ugly, but I think the rest of the floor we have is sandstone for the most part. So I guess I'll go over to floors and we'll make some more sandstone floors here. Where possible. You know, I need to get somebody on the power, though, because this solar panel is going to be generating power that we're not utilizing. So let's get you over. Or maybe it's already built. Oh, it's already built. Right? Okay, good. So the nighttime is going to be the real time that we get to see our power drain, because right now we have our wind turbine on low speed. We have no solar power. And it does look like we are draining power. So we're going to have to do something so that at nighttime or when we have a solar flare, not a solar flare, an eclipse, we are not hurting on power. We can compensate with more batteries, but I'm not sure if that's the right solution. Just making sure we're not restricted anywhere. Oh, did we get our obedience training done? Oh no, that just means that it's in progress. The check mark. Let's go ahead and go up to high speed here. So, wind turbine would cost us 100 steel. We could easily put it in right there. I don't know if that turret would block it. You could also put it over here. Again, I don't know if the trees block it. That might have been a slight consideration. Alright. Did something eat one of my crops? I wasn't paying attention. It would also be nice to have an alternative fuel source. We do have a geyser up here. I mean, it's kind of a trek. And it is kind of outside of our defensible zone, which is unfortunate. The other thing I want to take a look at is a research bench. Mostly wood and steel. We have enough to make it, and I think it's probably a good idea. We could make it out of a stone resource, granted that would take a long time. And we kind of need that for other things. So I'm going to go ahead and go with wood. And I might put it in this room. I think is what I'm going to do. We need to start doing research. Oh, we also have high-tech research bench. That would actually give us more, wouldn't it? And we would use our power resources. Yeah, this would be the better call. We just don't have enough steel to do it right now. We could make it out of gold or silver. And no, thank you. Oh, we got another escape pod. Let's go find where that is. Jump to location. We got somebody named Chimp. Okay, well, health. Okay, so they have some serious injuries, but nothing permanent yet. And let's see their character. So they're not capable of dumb labor, which I think sucks because that means that they can't do hauling if I remember correctly. But otherwise, really good social, really good close combat. I don't know if that's really good. And good at artistic talents. Global work speed is down with lazy, but outside of that, this is not that bad of a character to pick up, maybe. I mean, there's no guarantee if we rescue this person that they'll join. As a matter of fact, I probably should have stripped that other guy before helping him. What do you have gear-wise? You do have a pair of pants. All right, well, we'll strip you, then rescue you. I wonder if that one guy ever made it off the map. I mean, he was really trudging along, but I'm going to assume he did. Okay, stripped. Okay, now you can rescue the poor guy after we stripped him naked. I did need to get rid of this bed. I kind of forgot about it. We also don't have a door here. We need to do that at some point. As a matter of fact, let's do that now while I'm thinking about it. Nice wooden door in there. And we have a lot of slate blocks. So we could also build some walls. I'm thinking along the lines of defense here. We already have slate here. And we could use some of these rooms as expansion areas later. But for now, I'm thinking about just walling off some of this area. Alright, we do have some milk here. Uh-oh. Oh, we didn't treat him. That was a mistake. Is that going to have an effect on our... My friend Chimp died. Yeah, that was an oversight. I wasn't paying attention. But it doesn't have that captured person penalty. I was also thinking about making this the dining room at some point. But at the meantime, I was... Let's go ahead and deconstruct that bed so old Ben stops sleeping in there. But for the meantime, we're just going to go ahead with this. All right, so we have, I think, this all grown out. And we're mining, which is good. Get ourselves back some steel. But I think it's also time to start building those walls as I wanted to do. So, slate is what we've got. So, this is easy to wall off. I could put a door in there. As a matter of fact, let's do that. Let's do slate block door here. And then we'll make a slate wall here. And then do another slate door there. And then another slate door here. From what I remember, stone doors are rather slow to get through, but it's better than nothing, and it blocks the guys off. Maybe a little too many doors, because that does burn through our stone resources quite a bit. We do have a decent amount of sandstone now, so I'm going to go ahead and go on with the floors. Sandstone tile. Let's finish up some of this area here. All right, we got our potato crop coming in. We haven't been attacked in a while, which is good. I do feel a little bit bad about Chip, because he would have been a decent addition to the colony if we had gotten him. Oh, yay, another heat wave. Okay, I actually forgot. We need to get air conditioning in this building vented through so that everywhere gets it. Because right now we have our air conditioning. It's making this area nice and cool. But we're not getting that cooler temperature truly channeled through to some of these other rooms. It's better than it would be normally, but it's not as good as it should be. So let's get in here, get into the temperature, and we're going to have to start building vents. Now, we don't have that many steel resources, but we're going to need to work on this so that we've got vents and all these rooms bringing the cooler temperature in. So right now we're not going to have that done, but we're going to have to make a priority on it. Now I might have used more steel resources than I had. Let's check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, we should be good because it was 30 a piece. So that means 150. That is going to blow through a lot of our steel, but it is going to be necessary here. So once Luke is done playing around here, we'll probably send him to start. Well, actually, no, he should be cooking. We'll see what, okay, so we've got construction jobs we're doing here. And he's working on it, so that's good. And we're going to get some stone back as we knock these walls out. The only problem is our steel is so short. But we're getting to a point where we can put in those defenses and be a little bit better off, a little bit more covered here. Alright, so now the vents are in place. But I'm not sure if this guy is able to keep up with how warm everything is. I mean, look at this. 57 degrees in here, 101 in here, but that's because it's 133 outside. So to really maintain the temperature in some of these areas, we actually have to have more than one air conditioner unit, which of course we cannot afford because we don't have the steel. But I mean, this shows you how rough the desert can be when you have a heat wave like this. But again, it's better this way than the way it was. As a matter of fact, we have a decent amount of sandstone now, so I'm going to go ahead and do floors. And I can have time to go as I do this. There we go. Do there, and do there. And then finally, we have our base mostly floored here. Alright, who has the major break risk here? Old Ben. Why does Old Ben have a major break risk? Let's see. He's very hot. Well, that makes sense. He's feeling terrible. He had disturbed sleep, and he slept in heat and all that other stuff. Yeah, that will do it. Fortunately, the night's going to be coming here soon. And it'll cool off, hopefully. And over here, we have some more mining to queue up. I think that's iron there. Alright. So yeah, temperature's going down a little bit, down below 120, down into the 100 teens, and inside it's starting to cool off. The problem here is the refrigerator, because it's we're not keeping these things refrigerated as well as they maybe should be. Okay, alpacas joined. A group of alpacas abandoned or lost have wandered into the area. Alright, let's jump to the location. So there's two of them. Female, female. So they're both female. That's unfortunate. What's the deal with an alpaca? Medium-sized. Okay, closely related to a llama. The alpaca is often farmed for its remarkably soft wool. So, seeds, live plants, meals, processed foods, liquor, kibble. Okay. All right, well, we just got ourselves some free animals. I guess they'll be showing up soon. They cannot haul anything? No, unfortunately not. But hey, I'll take it. At worst, they're a pair of emergency rations. And the heat wave continues, so it's going to get hot today. And our air conditioning is struggling to keep up with it. Alright. Get in here and mine some more. And we can always sell the alpacas too. They're probably worth a decent amount. Are they ever going to come to the base? Where are they, as a matter of fact? I mean, I would think that they would eventually come over. Dead camel. Oh, there they are. One way I could ensure that they get over here is just tell them to go into animal area 1. And then that should, I think, speed them along. Although they're not obedient, so they might not. I don't... Not 100% on how that works. I don't want them dying to one of these cougars, though. Alright, how is our food resources right now? So we're sitting on 35 simple meals. And we also have 117 kibble, so we're pretty good on that. I would say food is a little bit short. We might have to start thinking about other food resources. I mean, this crop's going to be in soon. But maybe corn would be a good idea, because that yields quite a lot. As a matter of fact, let's just go ahead, grab all this, and tell them to haul it. Not so much that. To get it out of the growing area, so we can do more with this. And also, I have to think about power generation. I mentioned it earlier, but it's definitely a concern. We don't have the steel. Well, we might have the steel to do it. Okay, so power. Let us do a wind turbine, because that, I think, is what we can afford. And what I'll do is I'll have it face this direction rather than the trees. Hopefully that will help. That's going to burn through more of our precious steel. Man, these heat waves last a long time. We are into fall. Mad animal. Mega scarab. That doesn't sound good. Oh. Well, it still doesn't sound good. Let me grab Luke here and draft him. And we'll go to speed 1 as we start coming over here. I'm going to try and keep an eye on the Mega Scarab, as it's called. And we'll try and find a place to set up to shoot it on. Oh, this might be a good place. There we go. That was easy. And you undraft. And he's gonna go haul it. So we just got ourselves maybe meat. I'm not actually sure how that works. Well, I think this is a good point to go ahead and put a cut in the video either way. Yeah, he is putting it in there. This is Mouse Gunner signing out.